You're suspended, effective immediately. The words rang like a hammer blow. The administrator's cold voice cut through the hospital corridor, silencing the faint hum of monitors and the shuffle of nurses' shoes. His expression was carved from stone, his eyes devoid of compassion as he glared at Layla. Around them, doctors, patients, and staff stood frozen, caught between disbelief and fear. Layla's breath caught in her throat. Her badge still clung to her scrubs. Her gloves were streaked from the work of saving a life just moments earlier. And now she was being stripped of everything she had worked for, not because she had failed, but because she had dared to care. You bypassed protocol. You treated an unregistered patient without clearance, the administrator continued, his tone sharp. You will leave the premises immediately. Two security guards stepped forward. Murmurs rippled through the lobby. Some whispered in sympathy. Others turned away, unwilling to challenge authority. Layla's hands trembled, not from regret, but from anger. All she had done was save a man's life. Before we go deeper, welcome to Voices Unchained. If you believe compassion should never be punished, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment your location. We'd love to see how far these stories travel. But why had this moment come to pass? Just an hour earlier, the hospital lobby had been noisy, chaotic with the influx of patients. Among them was an old man, hunched in a battered wheelchair, his breaths shallow and uneven. His eyes were clouded, his skin pale, his hands trembling as he clutched the armrests. His name, Morgan Samson, 82 years old, a decorated war veteran, a survivor of the Japanese front lines, a man who had lived through hell so others could know freedom. But to the triage nurses, none of that mattered. They saw an unregistered patient. They saw age. They saw black skin, and with prejudice clouding their judgment, they deemed him non-critical. One nurse muttered, "He'll be fine waiting." Another shrugged, eyes already darting to a younger patient. But Layla saw what they didn't. She saw the clammy skin, the slumped shoulders, the silent cry for urgent help. And in that instant, a memory surged into her heart. Her grandfather, a veteran too. He had once gasped for breath in a hospital just like this, but he never made it past the lobby, neglected, ignored, dead because no one cared enough to act. Layla swore she wouldn't let history repeat itself. She knelt by Morgan's side. "Sir, stay with me," she whispered, her voice steady but urgent. She wheeled him into an empty bay, ignoring the glares. Her hands moved fast, IV line inserted, oxygen mask strapped, vitals monitored. "His pressure's dropping," she muttered, eyes scanning the monitor. Come on. Come on." Morgan's chest rose more evenly. His pulse steadied. She exhaled in relief. For the first time in that chaotic day, hope flickered. Minutes later, paramedics rushed in. They found him stable, alive, because of her. But the administrator did not see a life saved. He saw a rule broken. When Layla defended herself, "If I hadn't acted, he would have died." The administrator's eyes were like ice. "That is not your decision to make. Pack your things." And so, with disbelief weighing heavy, she was escorted out, humiliation pressing on her chest. But fate had other plans. The sliding glass doors opened, and a figure stepped inside. A five-star general. His posture was rigid, his presence commanding. His uniform was adorned with medals that glittered under the hospital lights. His very aura demanded silence, and silence he received. His voice carried like thunder. "Who is the nurse that saved Morgan Samson?" Every head turned. The guards froze mid-step. Layla hesitated, then raised her hand slowly. "I did," she whispered. The general's gaze locked onto her. His eyes, sharp and unforgiving at first, softened as if he saw more than just a nurse. He saw a savior. He stepped forward, his boots striking the floor like drumbeats. "Do you know who Morgan Samson is?" Layla shook her head. "I only knew he needed help." The general's voice dropped, carrying the weight of decades. "He is the man who pulled me out of a burning trench in the Japanese War. I owe my life to him. And today, because of you, he still breathes." Gasps rippled across the lobby. Nurses covered their mouths, patients straightened in awe. The frail man dismissed as unworthy minutes ago was revealed as a national hero. And Layla, the woman humiliated for saving him, was the only reason he lived to see another dawn. The general pivoted toward the administrator, his presence now a storm. "You suspended her?" His voice was quiet but lethal. The administrator stammered. She violated policy. I was only following." "The rules?" The general's tone cracked like a whip. "If your rules punish compassion, then your rules are broken. You owe this nurse an apology. and she will be reinstated immediately. The administrator's face drained of color. He opened his mouth to argue, but the words never came. The weight of the general's authority crushed any defense. Around them, staff shifted uncomfortably, shame evident on their faces. A few nurses approached Layla, their eyes brimming with admiration. One whispered, "I'm sorry. You were right." Then, from the lobby, a sound rose, chairs scraping the floor. A group of veterans stood, their backs bent with age, their hands trembling with arthritis. Yet one by one, they lifted their hands to their brows in solemn salute. Not to the general, not even to Morgan, to Layla. Tears blurred her vision, her chest heaved with emotion. She had never wanted recognition, only to save a man's life. But now, in this moment, she was honored by those who understood sacrifice better than anyone. Reporters flooded in, cameras flashing. The general faced them with pride. This nurse placed humanity above bureaucracy, compassion above policy. She saved the life of a man who once saved this nation. Let the world remember, not all heroes wear uniforms. Some wear scrubs. Some wield nothing but courage and compassion, and they deserve our highest respect. The words echoed, carried by microphones and pens that would spread the story far beyond those walls. The administrator, once powerful, stood forgotten, overshadowed, stripped of authority by the weight of truth. Days later, sunlight poured gently into a hospital room. Morgan Samson stirred, his eyes fluttering open. His lips trembled into a weak smile as he saw Layla sitting quietly at his bedside. "You saved me," he rasped. Layla shook her head softly. "You've given so much to this country. Saving you was my honor." Morgan's eyes welled with tears. "Thank you for giving me another chance." From the hallway, applause erupted. Families, nurses, doctors, and veterans. Some saluted, some clapped, others simply wept. And in that moment, prejudice and policy were silent. Compassion reigned. Some rules may guide us, but without compassion, they mean nothing. Prejudice blinds, but courage restores. Sometimes the smallest act of defiance, the refusal to look away, can save not only a life, but an entire community's faith in humanity. If this story touched you, don't let it end here. Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more stories that honor courage, and hit that like button so voices like Layla's can continue to echo across the world. Because the world doesn't just need more rules, it needs more heroes.